Number 10. Love, marriage, and Iran's most controversial tradition. In Iran, love rarely exists as a private story between two people alone. Family expectations, religion, money, law, social reputation, and the hopes of several generations can all enter the room before a couple decides what their future will become. In Tehran, young people meet at universities, workplaces, cafes, family gatherings, and through social media. Messaging applications have changed courtship, allowing conversations to begin long before parents are introduced. Yet for many couples, marriage still becomes a family event, shaped by discussions about education, character, employment, housing, and the ability to build a stable home. That last question has become increasingly difficult. Rent can consume a large part of a young worker's income, while wedding celebrations, furniture, jewelry, and household expenses can create pressure before married life even begins. Many unmarried adults continue living with their parents, not only because of tradition, but because moving out alone may be financially unrealistic. Some delay marriage for years while saving money, searching for secure work, or waiting for economic conditions to improve. Parents often remain influential. In some families, they help introduce potential partners, investigate family backgrounds, or participate closely in negotiations. In other homes, young adults choose independently and ask for approval later. Modern dating and traditional involvement, therefore, exist side by side, sometimes peacefully and sometimes in conflict. Within this complicated world is one of Iran's most debated institutions, known as sigeh, or nikah muta. Sigeh is a marriage contract recognized in Twelver Shia Islamic tradition and under Iranian law. Unlike a permanent marriage, it is created for a period agreed upon in advance. That period is not fixed. It may be brief, or it may continue for months or years, depending on the decision of the two people involved. The contract must also include a mahr, meaning money, property, or another form of value promised by the man to the woman. Additional conditions may be discussed, including financial support, living arrangements, or expectations during the relationship. Because these details can differ widely, sigeh cannot be explained as one identical experience shared by every couple. Supporters view it through a religious and legal lens. They argue that it offers a recognized relationship for adults who are not prepared for permanent marriage. A divorced or widowed person may seek companionship without rebuilding an entire household. A couple facing financial difficulty may see it as a temporary arrangement. Others may believe that a religiously recognized contract is preferable to a relationship existing outside accepted law. But the practice remains deeply controversial. Critics warn that the balance of power may favor men, especially when a woman has less money, less legal knowledge, or fewer social options. Problems can become more serious when a contract is not properly documented. Questions may then arise over financial obligations, proof of marriage, inheritance, pregnancy, and the legal rights of children. A temporary contract also does not always provide the protections associated with permanent marriage. The woman may have fewer claims to long-term support, and the relationship can end when the agreed period expires. Even when both people enter voluntarily, their expectations may not remain equal over time. Social judgment adds another layer. Iranian society is not uniform. Some religious communities accept sigeh as lawful and practical. Other families view it with suspicion or disapproval. Urban attitudes may differ from rural ones, and private behavior may be very different from what people admit publicly. That contradiction makes the subject difficult to discuss honestly. It would be misleading to present sigeh as a common secret defining all Iranian relationships. Many Iranians never enter such a contract, and many permanent marriages develop through ordinary courtship, family introductions, friendship, or love. It would be equally misleading to ignore Siga, because its existence reveals how religion, law, sexuality, economics, and family honor intersect inside Iranian society. Beyond legal contracts, marriage itself is changing. Young women with university degrees may expect careers, shared decision-making, and greater independence. Young men may face pressure to provide housing and financial security before proposing. Couples negotiate where to live, whether both partners will work, how household duties will be divided, and how much influence parents should have after the wedding. Inside one home, 3 generations may share meals, expenses, childcare, and advice. This closeness can create security during difficult economic periods, but it may also leave little privacy for a young couple learning to build a life together. Love in Iran is therefore neither completely traditional nor completely modern. It moves through family approval, private messages, religious rules, economic realities, and personal dreams. Every relationship must find its own path through these forces. Beyond the cities, however, some communities still organize family and social life according to traditions shaped by migration, livestock, and the changing seasons. What is the weather like where you live today? Comment 2 if it is raining, or comment 3 if it is sunny. Number 9. The hidden reality of women's lives in Iran. Walk through Tehran on an ordinary morning, and the first thing you notice is not silence or uniformity. It is a variety. Women move through the city in long manteaus, tailored coats, loose scarves, dark uniforms, bright sneakers, patterned handbags, and carefully chosen colors. Some cover their hair completely, others wear a scarf far back from the forehead. Some choose simple clothing for work, while others blend global fashion with local rules in ways that are subtle, creative, and unmistakably personal. This is where the outside image of Iranian women begins to break apart. Iran is home to Persian, Azerbaijani, Kurdish, Lur, Baloch, Arab, Turkmen, Armenian, Assyrian, and other communities. Their faces, languages, clothing, family customs, and regional traditions differ greatly. There is no single Iranian look, just as there is no single story that can explain every woman living between the Caspian coast and the Persian Gulf. On a university campus, a young engineering student walks between lecture halls carrying a laptop and a stack of notes. She studies mathematics, design, and computer systems, hoping to enter an industry where technical skill is respected. But leadership opportunities may remain difficult to reach. Iranian women account for a very large share of the university population. In some periods, they have represented roughly half or more of all students, creating one of the most striking contrasts in the country. Education has opened doors, but it has not removed every wall. A degree can lead to medicine, pharmacy, architecture, law, teaching, science, film, business, or technology. Yet strong academic achievement does not always become equal access to employment, senior management, political influence, or financial independence. Some graduates spend years searching for work connected to their training. Others accept lower-paying positions, build small businesses, work from home, or consider leaving Iran in search of wider opportunities. Now enter a busy hospital. A married doctor moves between examination rooms while messages from home appear on her phone. She may be responsible for patients during the day and still be expected to manage much of the family life at night. Her education gives her professional authority, but daily expectations do not disappear when she puts on a medical coat. Like women in many countries, she balances work, children, aging parents, household responsibilities, and the pressure to succeed without appearing to neglect anyone. This tension between public achievement and private obligation runs through modern Iran. Women teach in schools, operate pharmacies, direct films, design buildings, write books, run online stores, compete in sports, manage offices, create art, and serve customers in crowded shops. They drive through Tehran traffic, travel between cities, meet friends in cafes, and fill university classrooms. Their presence is visible everywhere, even when their authority is not equal everywhere. The most visible debate surrounds the hijab. Iranian law still requires women to follow rules of public dress. However, the way those rules appear in daily life can vary by city, neighborhood, generation, political climate, and moment. In parts of Tehran, some women wear scarves loosely or appear without them. In more conservative districts and smaller communities, clothing may be darker and coverage more complete. These differences do not mean the legal question has disappeared. They reveal an ongoing struggle between personal choice, social expectation, religious belief, and state authority. For some women, the hijab is an expression of faith, dignity, identity, or family tradition. For others, compulsory clothing rules represent a restriction on personal freedom. Many live somewhere between those positions, making private decisions while carefully reading the public environment around them. Fashion has become one language of negotiation. A young boutique owner arranges long coats in soft colors beside scarves, jewelry, and handmade accessories. Her customers want clothing that is fashionable, comfortable, and acceptable in public. She studies international trends online, adapts designs to local expectations, and uses social media to reach buyers. Every sleeve, fabric, and color becomes part of a conversation about how to be modern without ignoring the rules that shape the street outside. Behind this creativity are serious legal differences. Women may study, work, own property, drive, vote, and participate in public life. Yet family law does not always treat women and men equally. Questions involving marriage, divorce, child custody, inheritance, passports, and travel abroad can depend on circumstances that give husbands, fathers, or male relatives greater authority. The exact outcome may vary according to age, marital status, legal agreements, and court decisions. But the imbalance remains important. These laws are not abstract. They can shape whether a woman accepts a job abroad, leaves a difficult marriage, travels for competition, keeps custody of a child, or controls important decisions about her future. Even so, Iranian women are not simply passive figures trapped inside a system. They negotiate, adapt, challenge, create, and influence society every day. Some work through legal reform. Some speak through cinema, poetry, painting, music, journalism, or fashion. Others transform expectations quietly inside classrooms, clinics, offices, homes, and family conversations. Their lives cannot be reduced to either oppression or freedom. A woman may feel proud of her culture while criticizing the law. She may be religious and still demand greater equality. She may wear a hijab by choice while opposing its enforcement on others. She may succeed professionally while struggling privately. She may appear confident on the street while calculating risks that visitors never notice. And every choice carries consequences beyond appearance. That is the hidden reality. Iranian women stand at the center of one of the country's deepest contradictions. They are among its most educated citizens, yet education does not always deliver equal power. They are essential to the workforce, family, culture, and future, yet legal and social limits continue to shape their choices. To understand Iran, we must see these women not as symbols, but as individuals living complicated, ambitious, and deeply human lives. These contradictions become even more visible when we move from public life into the private world of marriage and family. If this journey is changing the way you see Iran, like the video and subscribe as we uncover more stories hidden beyond the headlines. Number 8. The Iran the world rarely sees. What do you truly imagine when you hear the word Iran? Perhaps you see missile launches glowing against a dark sky, tense political speeches, crowded demonstrations, nuclear negotiations, and another headline about sanctions. Iran is one of the most heavily sanctioned countries in the world, and for millions of outsiders, those images have become the entire story. But step away from the television screen, and another Iran begins to appear. Where are you watching from? How beautiful is the land where you live? Morning arrives quietly over Tehran. Beyond the towers and apartment blocks, snow rests on the Alborz Mountains like a silver wall above the city. Bakers lift fresh bread from hot stone ovens. Yellow taxis merge into streams of traffic. Shopkeepers roll open metal doors. Students hurry toward university classrooms. And thousands of commuters descend into the metro before the streets fully wake. Inside small cafes, young people lean across tables, speaking about music, work, travel, relationships, and the future. In public parks, grandparents walk beneath tall trees, while children chase one another between picnic blankets. Families gather around food, tea, fruit, and stories that may continue long after sunset. In the bazaars, voices echo beneath ancient brick ceilings as merchants sell carpets, spices, jewelry, clothing, and ordinary household goods. This is not the Iran that usually reaches the evening news. Yet daily life here is not free from pressure. International sanctions affect prices, trade, employment, medicine, technology, and the value of money. Many families carefully calculate what they can afford. Young professionals search for stable careers. Business owners adapt to changing costs. Students wonder whether their future will be built at home or somewhere far beyond Iran's borders. And still, life continues with remarkable energy. Women study, work, drive, shop, create businesses, make films, teach classes, practice medicine, and shape the culture of modern cities, even while facing laws and social expectations that remain deeply debated. Young men balance family duties with personal ambition. Older generations protect traditions that have survived revolutions, wars, and political change. So which Iran is real? Is it the country of government speeches and international tension? Or the country of crowded cafes, mountain roads, wedding celebrations, football matches, poetry, cinema, and late-night conversations? The answer is both. Iran is not a simple story of freedom or restriction, wealth or poverty, tradition or modernity. It is a place where ancient civilization and youthful ambition occupy the same streets. Religious devotion can exist beside private doubt. Hospitality can flourish during economic hardship. Modern fashion can move through neighborhoods shaped by centuries of custom. That contradiction is what makes Iran so difficult to understand from a distance and so fascinating to explore up close. As we begin this journey, we will look beyond the loudest headlines. We will enter homes, markets, deserts, forests, cities, and mountain villages. We will ask how people earn a living, what daily life costs, how women navigate society, and whether foreign visitors are welcomed. Behind every question waits another surprise. revealing a nation whose ordinary moments can feel more powerful, more intimate, and more complicated than the political images repeated around the world again and again. But before understanding the people of Iran, we must first understand the land beneath their feet, because this country looks nothing like the endless desert many outsiders imagine. Before we step into Iran, the world rarely sees, like this video and subscribe so you do not miss the journeys ahead. Number 7. Inside Tehran. How millions really live every day. Tehran does not wake gently. Before sunrise has fully touched the Alborz Mountains, apartment lights begin flickering across the city. Elevators hum inside, concrete towers, and the first streams of commuters spill toward bus stops and metro entrances. From the northern hills to the crowded southern districts, nearly every street seems to be preparing for movement. At a neighborhood bakery, a worker slides long sheets of sangak onto a bed of hot stones. The bread emerges thin, blistered, and fragrant, carrying the smell of wheat into the cool morning air. Customers fold it beneath their arms before hurrying away with cheese, herbs, and tea for breakfast. Nearby, shopkeepers lift metal shutters while delivery motorcycles gather beside the curb. Below the streets, Tehran moves at another speed. The metro is one of the most important parts of daily life. Its network crosses the capital through urban lines, suburban connections, and branches reaching toward Imam Khomeini International Airport and the city of Parand. Line 1 alone extends about 92 kilometers, or around 57 miles, carrying passengers from northern Tehran toward the southern edge of the metropolis. During rush hour, the platforms fill quickly. Students hold notebooks against their chests. Office workers watch the arrival screens. Laborers carry lunch bags and tools. Some writers scroll through messages while others stand silently, still caught between sleep and the demands of the day. Cars at the front and rear of many trains are reserved for women, offering additional space during crowded periods. Women may also ride in mixed cars, where families, students, and workers stand together. Vendors sometimes move through the trains, selling socks, toys, kitchen tools, cosmetics, or phone accessories, turning an ordinary commute into a moving marketplace. When passengers return to the surface, they enter a city built from contrasts. In northern Tehran, mountain views rise behind modern apartments, fashionable cafes, private clinics, and expensive shopping centers. Streets can feel greener, quieter, and cooler near the foothills. Farther south, the buildings grow denser, workshops appear beside homes, and the air carries the sound of engines, machinery, and crowded markets. The difference between these neighborhoods reveals more than geography. It shows how dramatically wealth and opportunity can change within the same city. Some residents look out across tree-lined avenues from luxury towers. Others share small apartments with parents, grandparents, or married siblings because renting a home alone has become difficult. For many young people, living with family is not simply tradition. It is an economic strategy. The value of the Iranian rial can shift rapidly, while rent, food, medicine, and imported products become more expensive. A teacher may tutor students after school. An office employee may drive for SNAP in the evening. A university graduate may work in a cafe while searching for a position connected to a degree. Families compare prices carefully, postpone major purchases, and rely on relatives when sudden expenses arrive. If you like this video, comment 1. If you do not like this video, comment 0. Yet Tehran never feels defeated. Motorcycle couriers cut between cars with astonishing confidence. Construction crews climb unfinished buildings. Programmers work in shared offices. Doctors move through crowded hospitals. Students cross university campuses. Street vendors arrange fruit in perfect pyramids, and taxi drivers exchange jokes with passengers while traffic barely moves. Traffic is one of the city's greatest daily struggles. Highways spread across Tehran, but congestion can transform a short journey into a long test of patience. Horns echo between buildings. Motorcycles squeeze through narrow gaps, and buses advance slowly through clouds of exhaust. Air pollution often hides the mountains that define Tehran's skyline. On clear days, the Alborz range appears close enough to touch. On polluted days, it disappears behind gray haze, leaving the city feeling sealed beneath its own traffic. To understand Tehran beyond its highways, enter the Grand Bazaar. The first impression is not a single market but an entire world beneath brick arches and vaulted ceilings. Narrow corridors branch in different directions, each carrying its own sounds, colors, and scents. Gold merchants sit behind glittering windows. Carpet sellers unroll landscapes woven from wool and silk. Spice shops display saffron, dried limes, cinnamon, turmeric, and rose petals. Elsewhere, shoppers search for fabric, clothing, copper dishes, household goods, antiques, shoes, and wedding supplies. Porters push heavy carts through the crowds. Merchants drink black tea from small glasses while discussing prices, politics, family matters, and business. For centuries, bazaar merchants have influenced more than commerce. Their networks have shaped social life, religious institutions, and political movements. The Grand Bazaar is therefore not only where Tehran buys things, it is one of the places where the city remembers its power. Hunger eventually leads toward another side of the experience. A bowl of ash reshta arrives thick with noodles, beans, herbs, and tangy whey. Kebab is served beside rice scented with saffron. Fresh herbs, grilled tomatoes, yogurt, and pickles fill the table. For dessert, saffron ice cream carries the perfume of rosewater, while black tea arrives with sugar cubes or translucent pieces of rock candy. On Friday, the official weekly day of rest, another market reveals Tehran's creative side. At the Friday market, artists and collectors display handmade jewelry, paintings, old cameras, records, embroidered bags, ceramics, secondhand books, and objects whose histories are known only to their sellers. Young couples browse beside elderly collectors. Tourists search for unusual souvenirs. Artists explain how their pieces were made. Unlike polished shopping malls, this market feels personal, unpredictable, and alive with discovery. By evening, families gather in parks, cafes fill again, and food stalls brighten the sidewalks. The day's pressure does not vanish, but Tehran transforms it into conversation, movement, food, humor, and human connection. This is how millions really live here, not inside a political headline, but between crowded trains, rising prices, warm bread, mountain shadows, difficult choices, and the stubborn rhythm of everyday life. Yet the most debated part of daily life in Iran is not its traffic or its markets, but the changing position of women in public society. What is the weather like where you live today? Comment 2 if it is raining, or comment 3 if it is sunny. Number 6. What it really costs to live, work, and survive in Iran. To understand modern Iran, begin before sunrise at a kitchen table in Tehran. A family shares bread, cheese, herbs, and tea while discussing rent, school expenses, medicine, and the cost of another week. Outside, the city is waking, but inside many homes, every decision begins with money. For millions of households, Survival is not a dramatic event, but a quiet calculation repeated every morning before the day begins again. Inflation has changed the rhythm of daily life. The Iranian rial can lose value quickly, and prices for food, housing, transportation, and imported goods may rise faster than salaries. Many people therefore work more than one job. A teacher may tutor students after class. A nurse may take extra shifts. A university graduate may drive for SNAP at night while searching for work connected to a degree. Housing creates some of the greatest pressure. In northern Tehran, modern towers face the Alborz Mountains, while expensive cafes, clinics, and shopping centers fill greener neighborhoods. Farther south, apartments are smaller, streets are denser, and rents may be lower, but long commutes add time and cost. Many young adults continue living with parents, and some married couples share homes with relatives until they can afford a place of their own. Across Iran, people work in remarkably different worlds. Doctors and nurses serve crowded hospitals. Engineers enter oil fields, factories, mines, and construction sites. Farmers grow rice, wheat, tea, dates, pistachios, and citrus fruit while facing drought and shrinking water supplies. Bazaar merchants sell carpets, spices, fabric, and gold beneath ancient brick roofs. Motorcycle couriers move through traffic. Programmers build digital services. Shepherds guide livestock. And artisans spend months weaving rugs by hand. The country is tied together by about 12,998 kilometers of railway, or around 8,077 miles. Trains connect Tehran with Mashhad, Tabriz, Isfahan, Shiraz, Ahvaz, Bandar Abbas, and other cities. Some routes continue toward neighboring countries or support trade corridors reaching Central Asia, the Caucasus, Turkey, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. These are not the seamless high-speed trains found in Japan or China. Many journeys are long, but overnight compartments reveal another Iran. Families share fruit and tea. Children sleep beneath blankets. Mountains, salt plains, industrial towns, and distant villages pass beyond the window like scenes from a moving documentary. In the south, Bandar Abbas serves as an important maritime gateway near the Strait of Hormuz. Farther east, Chabahar faces the Gulf of Oman, giving Iran access to open water beyond the Persian Gulf. These ports connect the country with trade routes linking the Middle East, South Asia, Central Asia, and the wider world. For travelers, Iran requires careful preparation. Visa rules depend on nationality and may change. International Visa and MasterCard cards usually do not work normally, so visitors may need cash or a prepaid local travel card. Clothing rules apply to foreigners, and photography near military sites, government buildings, ports, airports, or sensitive infrastructure can create serious problems. Internet access may also be restricted. Some platforms can be filtered. Connections may slow, and political events can produce sudden changes. Travelers should download maps, documents, hotel details, and essential information before arrival. Security must come first. Regional conflict, protests, airspace closures, and diplomatic tension can change travel conditions quickly. Anyone planning a journey should check official warnings, airline schedules, insurance rules, and border information immediately before departure. Yet many visitors remember Iran most clearly for hospitality. A stranger may guide you through a station, invite you to tea, or insist that you share a meal. Iranian politeness includes tarof, a tradition in which people may offer something several times or politely refuse payment. Understanding whether an offer is sincere or ceremonial requires patience and respect. Iran is not the frightening image repeated in political headlines, but it is not a perfect hidden paradise either. It is a complicated country where ancient history, modern ambition, religious tradition, economic pressure, artistic creativity, and ordinary determination exist side by side. After seeing the landscapes, traditions, cities, and struggles behind the headlines, has your view of Iran changed, and would you ever consider traveling there yourself? Number 5. Iran is not Arab. So who are the Iranians? Iran is often placed inside a single image of the Middle East, and from a distance, many outsiders assume that everyone here must be Arab and speak Arabic. Yet, the moment you listen to a conversation in a Tehran cafe, read a poem by Hafez, or walk through a market in Tabriz, that assumption begins to disappear. Iran is Iranian before it is anything else. In 2026, the country is estimated to have about 93 million people. Imagine nearly 100 million individual stories spread between Caspian forests, mountain villages, crowded cities, desert towns, and ports facing the Persian Gulf. They share one country, but they do not all speak the same language, wear the same clothing, cook the same food, or remember history in exactly the same way. The largest and most influential city is Tehran. Its main urban area holds close to 9,840,000 residents, while the wider Tehran province contains about 14,560,000 people. From the foothills of the Alborz Mountains, the capital spreads southward in a field of highways, towers, workshops, apartment blocks, gardens, and neighborhoods that seem to change character every few streets. Northern Tehran rises closer to the mountains. The air can feel cooler, trees appear more frequently, and luxury apartments, fashionable cafes, private clinics, and expensive shopping centers occupy some of the most desirable districts. Farther south, the city becomes flatter, denser, more industrial, and often more traditional. Workshops open onto busy roads, markets overflow with household goods, families live closer together, and the rhythm feels faster and louder. This contrast is not only geographical, it reveals part of the economic distance separating different lives inside the same capital. A view of the mountains may also be a view of privilege, but Tehran alone cannot explain who the Iranians are. Most people in Iran speak Persian, commonly called Farsi. Persian belongs to the Indo-European language family, within its Iranian branch. That means its distant linguistic relatives include English, German, French, Hindi, and many other languages stretching from Europe to South Asia. Arabic belongs to the Semitic language family, alongside languages such as Hebrew. Persian and Arabic are therefore not simply two versions of the same language. Their grammar, historical roots, pronunciation, and basic vocabulary developed along different paths. The confusion is understandable. Modern Persian is written with a script adapted from Arabic, and centuries of religion, scholarship, trade, conquest, and cultural exchange brought many Arabic words into Persian. To someone unfamiliar with either language, the writing may look nearly identical, but an Arabic speaker and a Persian speaker cannot automatically understand one another. Travel northwest, and Azerbaijani voices become common in cities, such as Tabriz and Ardabil. Azerbaijani is a Turkic language, connecting the region culturally with communities beyond Iran's northern border. In the Western Mountains, Kurdish communities preserve several Kurdish languages, music traditions, dances, clothing styles, and stories shaped by the rugged landscape. Across the Zagros Mountains live Lur and Bakhtiari communities whose histories are closely tied to highland valleys, pastoral movement, and tribal identity. In the southwest, especially around parts of Khuzestan, Arab-Iranian communities speak local forms of Arabic while remaining deeply rooted in Iranian society. Journey southeast towards Sistan and Baluchistan, and the culture changes again. Many Baluch people speak Baluchi and maintain traditions connected to a region extending across modern national borders. In the northeast, Turkmen communities bring another Turkic language, distinctive music, horse culture, carpets, and clothing into Iran's national mosaic. Armenian and Assyrian Christians add further layers. Their churches, schools, cuisine, neighborhoods, and religious celebrations reveal communities whose histories in the region reach back centuries. Even the names Persia and Iran tell a story. For generations, Western countries commonly called the nation Persia, a name connected to the ancient region of Pars and the empires that rose from it. Iran, however, is an older native name associated with the broader land and peoples of the Iranian world. In 1935, the government asked foreign countries to use Iran in official communication, although Persia remains widely used when discussing history, art, carpets, poetry, and cuisine. So who are the Iranians? They are Persian speakers and Turkic speakers, mountain communities and coastal traders, city professionals and village farmers, Muslims, Christians, Jews, Zoroastrians, and people whose private beliefs may not fit any simple category. Their identities overlap rather than stand in separate boxes. Number 4. The last nomads fighting to save their ancient world. At dawn in the mountains of southern Iran, the silence breaks with bells. Sheep move across pale grass, goats climb between stones, and black tents begin to glow beneath the rising sun. Smoke curls from fires as families prepare tea and bread. This is the world of the Qashqai, a Turkic-speaking people whose history has been shaped by movement. For generations, Qashqai families traveled between the warmer lowlands near the Persian Gulf and the cooler high pastures of the Zagros Mountains. Their routes could stretch for hundreds of kilometers, or many hundreds of miles, crossing rivers, rocky valleys, dusty plains, and narrow mountain passes. The journey was never simply travel, it was survival, following grass, water, and weather before the seasons changed. In warm months, families moved upward toward green pastures where animals could feed beneath open skies. As winter approached, they descended toward the lower country, escaping deep snow and freezing winds. Every stage required knowledge passed from parents to children. Elders remembered hidden springs, safe crossings, dangerous cliffs, and places where storms could trap a caravan. Today, estimates of the Qashqai population vary widely, ranging from several hundred thousand to around 1 million people. The uncertainty reveals how much their world has changed. Some families continue seasonal migration. Others have settled in villages, towns, or cities. Many still identify proudly as Qashqai, even if they no longer live inside a tent or follow livestock across the mountains. The traditional black tent is woven from goat hair. When dry, the fabric allows air to pass through, helping the interior remain cooler. When rain falls, the fibers swell and tighten, making the roof more resistant to water. Inside, colorful rugs cover the ground, cushions line the walls, and objects are arranged with care. The tent is not merely shelter, it is a home designed to move. Women stand at the center of this world. They prepare food, care for children, tend animals, manage household supplies, spin wool, and help raise or dismantle the tents. Their clothing often brings color into the landscape. Layered skirts, patterned fabrics, bright scarves, and silver details move against the brown mountains like flowers carried by the wind. Their most celebrated art is weaving. Education creates another challenge. Parents want their children to attend school, learn new skills, and gain opportunities that nomadic life cannot always provide. Yet regular schooling is difficult when a family moves with the seasons. Some children stay with relatives in towns, others enter boarding schools. Each solution creates distance between the young and the traditions their elders fear losing. For many Qashqai teenagers, the city promises university, steady employment, modern housing, internet access, and a future less dependent on rain. Returning to the mountains may feel romantic during a festival, but more demanding when water must be carried, animals become sick, or winter arrives early. Traditional weaving also faces competition from factory products that imitate tribal patterns at lower prices. A handmade carpet may represent months of labor, yet buyers do not always understand its value. When weaving no longer provides reliable income, another thread connecting younger women to their heritage begins to weaken. Still, the Qashqai have not disappeared. Families gather for weddings, music, dance, and seasonal celebrations. Elders speak their language. Women continue weaving patterns inherited from mothers and grandmothers. Shepherds still guide animals through valleys where their ancestors once traveled. Number 3. The lost Persian Empire still standing in modern Iran. Iran does not hide its history inside museums alone. It rises from mountain cliffs, palace courtyards, blue-tiled domes, ancient bridges, and gardens where poetry still feels alive. By 2026, Iran held 29 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, most of them cultural, each preserving another layer of a civilization that has shaped this land for thousands of years. Visitors climbed broad stairways toward the Gate of All Nations, guarded by enormous winged bulls carved from stone. Beyond it stood the Apadana Palace, where reliefs show delegations arriving from distant regions. Some carry textiles, others lead horses, present vessels, or bring animals as tribute. Their clothing and faces differ, yet every figure moves calmly, creating an image of many peoples gathered beneath one empire. Nearby, Naqsh-i-Rostam reveals royal tombs carved high into a cliff. Farther away, Pasargadae preserves the tomb of Cyrus the Great. Its stone chamber is simple and isolated, but its silence feels more powerful than decoration. From ancient Persia, the journey moves to Tehran. Golestan Palace glitters with mirrored halls, painted tiles, marble terraces, and formal gardens. The National Museum of Iran protects objects from prehistoric settlements, royal courts, and vanished kingdoms. Azadi Tower rises like a white gateway into the modern capital, while Milad Tower climbs about 435 meters, or around 1,427 feet, above highways and apartment blocks. South of Tehran lies Isfahan, where Safavid architecture turns stone into theater. Naqsh-i-Jahan Square opens like an enormous stage surrounded by the Imam Mosque, Sheikh Lotfullah Mosque, Ali Kapu Palace, and the Grand Bazaar. Turquoise domes change color beneath the sun, while craftsmen sell carpets, copperware, miniature paintings, and enamel work beneath shaded arcades. At Chehel Sotun Palace, 20 wooden columns reflect in a long pool, creating the illusion of 40. Along the Zayande Route, Cose Pole and Kaju Bridge once mirrored themselves in flowing water. When the river dries, the bridges remain magnificent, but the empty channel beneath them becomes a warning about Iran's water crisis. Across the river, New Julfa tells another story. Armenian merchants and families built churches, workshops, and trading networks here. Inside Vank Cathedral, Christian scenes meet Persian floral patterns, revealing how cultures blended within the same city. Number 2. Iran's most dangerous deserts and unreal landscapes. The journey begins in Dasht-e-Lut, a desert covering about 51,800 square kilometers, or around 20,000 square miles. From above, it resembles another planet. Long ridges of clay and rock run beside one another like the walls of a ruined city, while dark volcanic plains stretch toward distant mountains. These formations are called kuluts. Over countless seasons, powerful winds carve them into corridors, towers, and narrow passages. Some rise like fortresses above the desert floor. Others resemble enormous ships frozen in waves of dust. Walking between them can feel like entering a city abandoned before human memory began. Farther west lies Dasht-e-Kavir, the Great Salt Desert. Here, distance can deceive the eye. Pale salt crusts appear firm, but beneath them may lie soft mud capable of trapping animals, vehicles, and careless travelers. Seasonal lakes form after rare rains, then vanish beneath sun and wind. Travel south toward the Strait of Hormuz, and Keshem Island rises from blue water with cliffs, canyons, salt caves, and fishing villages. The island feels sculpted rather than built. Wind and rain have cut openings into the rock, creating shapes that resemble animals, towers, and sleeping giants. At the Valley of Stars, narrow paths twist between pillars and eroded walls. Local stories say a star once crashed into the island and shattered the earth. Geologists explain the shapes through erosion, but when evening shadows stretch through the valley, the legend feels almost believable. Nearby, the Hara mangrove forests create another surprise. Trees grow in salty tidal water, their roots disappearing and returning as the sea rises and falls. Boats glide between green channels where herons, flamingos, and migrating birds feed in the shallows. After the blazing deserts, this floating forest feels like a secret world. Continue east along the Makran coast, and Iran becomes wilder. Pale cliffs fall toward empty beaches. Mud volcanoes rise from barren plains. Fishing boats rest beside villages facing the Gulf of Oman. The coastline feels remote, shaped by storms and tectonic forces rather than tourism. In the northwest, Lake Urmia tells a more troubling story. Once one of the largest salt lakes in the region, it was famous for water that could turn pink or red as salt-loving organisms multiplied. Islands rose from the lake, birds gathered along the shore, and nearby communities depended on its ecosystem. Over time, drought, dams, irrigation, and heavy water use caused the lake to shrink dramatically. Former shorelines became salt flats. Boats were left far from water. Winds began carrying exposed salt toward farms and towns, threatening soil, crops, and public health. The Zagros Mountains reveal another side of the crisis. Oak forests, high valleys, wildlife, and pastoral communities depend on seasonal rain and snow. When drought continues, springs weaken, grasslands fade, and shepherds must move farther to support their animals. Across Iran, groundwater has been pumped faster than nature can replace it. In some areas, the ground itself is sinking. Wetlands have contracted. Rivers flow less reliably. Wildlife loses habitat as farms, roads, cities, and industry expand. These changes affect more than scenery. They influence food prices, migration, employment, health, and whether families can remain in places their ancestors called home. A beautiful dry lake may also represent a lost fishing income. A silent village may reflect years of water shortage rather than peaceful isolation. Iran's landscapes therefore demand two reactions at once. They inspire wonder, but they also raise questions. How long can ancient water systems support growing cities? What happens when desertification reaches farmland? Can damaged lakes and wetlands recover before surrounding communities are forced to leave? Number 1. The country where snow, forests, and burning deserts collide. When many travelers imagine Iran, they picture an endless horizon of dust, cracked earth, and silent dunes. But the moment you cross into this enormous country, that image begins to fall apart. Iran covers about 1,648,195 square kilometers, or around 636,371 square miles. That is a space large enough to contain mountain kingdoms, green coastlines, ancient forests, salt deserts, fertile valleys, and tropical shores, all beneath one national flag. The journey begins in the north, where the air feels almost impossible for anyone expecting only heat. Along the southern edge of the Caspian Sea, clouds gather against the Alborz Mountains and release rain over forests that have survived for millions of years. The Hyrcanian woodlands rise in layers of green, filled with beech, oak, maple, and hornbeam trees. In spring, mist moves between the trunks. In autumn, the slopes burn with red and gold leaves instead of desert fire. Farther west in Gilan, rice fields shine like mirrors beneath the sky, while tea plantations climb the hills in neat green rows. Villages appear between forests and streams, and farmers work in landscapes that seem closer to northern Europe than the Middle East. Masale is one of the most unforgettable settlements. Its houses are built into a steep mountainside, with the roof of one home often serving as the walkway for the family above. When fog enters the village, stairways, balconies, and other walls seem to float in the clouds. Near the Caspian coast, Ramsar offers another surprise. Forested mountains descend toward beaches, gardens, and humid coastal plains. The Caspian Sea itself covers about 371,000 square kilometers, or around 143,200 square miles. It is so vast that standing on its shore can feel like looking across an ocean, even though it is the largest enclosed inland body of water on Earth. Yet this beautiful sea is changing. Falling water levels threaten ports, wetlands, fishing communities, and wildlife. The view remains peaceful, but beneath that calm surface, an environmental story is unfolding. Travel south from the Caspian, and the land rises sharply into the Alborz Mountains. Above the valleys stands Mount Damavand, reaching about 5,609 meters, or around 18,402 feet. Its snow-covered cone dominates the horizon like a natural monument. Damavand is the highest peak in Iran and one of Asia's most remarkable volcanoes. Not far from Tehran, winter travelers can reach Dezhyn, where ski slopes cut through the mountains. Here, chairlifts create a scene that seems completely disconnected from the burning deserts farther south. Iran is not a country where every climate sits conveniently beside the next, but the contrast is extraordinary. Within one long journey, travelers can move from rainy forest to alpine snow, then descend toward dry plateaus where the color green almost disappears. In western Iran, the Zagros Mountains stretch across the land like a broken stone spine. Deep valleys, oak forests, high pastures, and isolated villages shape the lives of Kurdish, Lur, and nomadic communities. Shepherds guide flocks across slopes that change with the seasons. In remote areas, black tents stand against pale mountains, while smoke rises from cooking fires in the evening. These landscapes are not empty. They are working environments, carrying routes, memories, and traditions passed through generations. Then, central Iran begins to reveal another world. The mountains open toward an immense plateau of dry plains, salt flats, oasis towns, and desert basins. Ancient roads once carried merchants, pilgrims, silk, spices, and stories across this harsh interior. Cities such as Yazd grew beside precious water systems, with wind towers rising above mud brick neighborhoods to capture cooler air. Beneath the ground, underground channels carried water from distant mountains toward homes, gardens, and fields. Here, the desert is not simply a blank space. It changes color with the hour. Morning light turns the earth pale gold. At sunset, cliffs and dunes glow orange, copper, and red. At night, darkness spreads across the plateau, revealing a sky crowded with stars. Silence becomes part of the experience, broken only by wind moving over stone and sand. Continue south, and Iran changes again. Along the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, winter can feel warm while northern mountains remain covered in snow. The air becomes humid, palm trees appear, fishing boats move between islands, and markets carry the scent of spices in the sea. Coastal culture reflects centuries of trade with Arabia, India, and East Africa, giving southern food, music, clothing, and architecture a rhythm unlike the interior. Iran is therefore not one landscape, but many worlds connected by mountains and memory. Its forests challenge the image of a barren nation. Its snowfields rise above crowded cities. Its deserts preserve the routes of travelers. Its southern waters open toward distant continents. Across this enormous and varied landscape lives a population far more diverse than the word Persian alone might suggest. Hello everyone, and welcome to our travel channel. We are two passionate girls behind this journey, working together to explore beautiful places, unique cultures, local food, and inspiring stories from around the world. Every video we create is made with care, from researching destinations and planning, editing, and sharing the best moments with you. Our goal is to bring you closer to the world, one journey at a time, and help you discover places you may have never seen before. If you enjoy our travel videos, please support us by giving this video a like, subscribing to our channel, and turning on the notification bell so you will not miss our next adventure. Your support means so much to us and motivates our team to keep exploring and creating more amazing travel stories for you.